Three things. Do you eat well? Do you exercise at least a little bit? And do you get enough sleep? Those are the pillars of key lifestyle medicine initiatives. And those will keep you healthy if you engage on all of those. My name is Dr. John Schumann. I'm an executive medical director with Oak Street Health. As a primary care doctor, I care for many patients that have diabetes. It's an extremely common condition, and it's only been growing in the United States. So if you've been diagnosed with diabetes, hopefully you've talked to your provider and have a care plan for how you're going to take on this condition. You know, a really important aspect of trying to control or combat diabetes is through nutrition. The way that you shop and the way that you eat, the way you cook and prepare meals, or of course, the food that you buy at the grocery store. There's all kinds of processed food out there and all kinds of marketing and come-ons to get you to buy, make the easy choice, the fast choice. But unfortunately, usually those foods are engineered literally to our palate so that they taste great and they taste good up front, but then they often kind of harm us downstream. So if you're in the grocery store, the saying is you want to stick to the periphery of the grocery store. That is, you want to go with the fresh fruits and vegetables or maybe the frozen section. So the question then naturally comes up is, how do I prepare a meal, or what's the best way to prepare a meal? Well, a good way to think about it is you want to construct your plate. You probably want a half of it to be ideally complex carbohydrates, and what I mean by that is simply grains, whole grains, are as close to whole as possible. Generally, if you avoid white flours or white rice, but stick to natural grains, brown rice, and then quinoa, which is a South American grain that actually is rich in protein as well. These are whole grains that are very healthy for you and can add fiber to any meal that you're enjoying. So then I typically want to add some color to the plate, so typically some vegetables that I cook, and then about a quarter of the plate would be like my protein source. And that can be meat if you're a meat eater. If you want to avoid meat, there's lots of beans and legumes, so any different kinds of beans are extremely healthy. And legumes like lentils are, pound for pound, probably the least expensive and healthiest food you could eat. Healthy snacking. Who doesn't love snacking? I know I do. It's important when you think about snacks to try to maintain that healthy outlook. My recommendation would be to keep the snacking healthy and avoid overdoing it with the processed snacks. So one thing I like to do is snack on nuts. Now, keep in mind, this small bag of pecans, this is actually this is a 1-serving package, it says, but there's almost 400 calories in here. There's a little bit of saturated fat in here, but there's a lot of healthy monounsaturated fat in here. So those are the good fats. Of course, the healthiest snacks are the things with no additives at all. So the old saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Eat an apple a day, you will do well. Another snack that's very inexpensive is pure popcorn. So if you look on the nutrition label, interestingly, a serving of popcorn is just 2 tablespoons. You get 2 tablespoons of these little kernels, but when they pop, they fluff up, right? And there's no sodium in here at all. Let's talk about dessert. So, who doesn't like desserts? I know I do. But if you're diabetes, dessert can be tricky because dessert is usually a sweet, so it's usually got extra sugar in it. It may have added sugar, and if you're diabetic, we want you avoiding concentrated sugars. So probably the healthiest dessert that anyone could have would be fresh fruit. Could be orange slices, apples, banana, berries. Berries are extremely healthy with what are called phytonutrients. These are chemicals from plants that are, think of them like vitamins, but the phytochemicals even at a smaller level that provide lots and lots of health benefits to your guts, to your brain, to your overall well-being. Shopping is kind of fundamental to survival and preparing food for yourself or your family. There are lots of strategies. Obviously, you can look for specials or sales. You can use coupons. If you have SNAP benefits, lots of farmers markets, in order to encourage the sale and consumption of locally grown healthy produce, will do double up food bucks. So you'll actually get $2 for every dollar you spend or that's on your SNAP benefit for the purpose of buying local produce. That, to me, is a great win. Life is short and a continual learning process. And so even in my own personal experience, I'm always trying to improve my own health. But moreover, because I'm a physician, I'm trying to improve the health of my patients. And though we've seen the number of patients with diabetes in the United States and commensurately at Oak Street Health go up. I'm dedicated to trying to address both the underlying causes that lead to diabetes, but also treat diabetes in a way that we can control it and mitigate or lessen the downstream consequences of diabetes. And with all the newer tools that are available, actually in many cases with the type 2 diabetes that I mentioned earlier, 95% of the diabetes is type 2. Literally cure it. It's a curable condition.